Bitcoin's price is crashing right now, and everybody wants to know the same two answers: why it happened and what happens next. But the reasons that most people they're throwing around, they're just wrong. And if you don't understand what actually happened and why, then you're not going to be able to see what's about to change. More importantly, what comes next. Because once you see the real cause behind this move, the entire crash suddenly makes a lot more sense. So today, we're going to break down: why is the price falling? Who is selling? What broke? When will it end? And what you should be doing about it. Now, whether you're a long-term investor, a short-term investor, we're going to answer that. Now, look, I've been selling tech companies for decades. I invest in Bitcoin startups. I help run a publicly traded Bitcoin treasury company. This is the same data that we're using internally. All right, so let's just start with the obvious. Bitcoin's price is crashing. Now, at the time of this recording, probably going to change by the time you watch this, but we're at about 85,000. It's about 32% off of its previous all-time high that was set back in October 13th. And everybody's looking around. They're all trying to figure out, like, what the heck just happened? And of course, more importantly, what comes next? But the problem is that most of the explanations out there that you're seeing, maybe online, on Twitter, whatever, they're guesses, right? They're headlines. It's whatever narrative people grab, whatever they can find the quickest. And none of it actually matches the data. But before we go anywhere, before we talk about the seller, before we talk about the microstructure, before we talk about the timing of the moves, we have to set the right frame, right? This is when I always go back and I listen to good old Uncle Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, because he has all these little lines, these little sayings, ones that I think about a lot, especially when markets start acting very emotional like right now. And he has a really famous one. He said, quote, "If you're not willing to own something for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes, end quote. And of course, the other one everybody quotes all the time is, price is what you pay, value is what you get. But the one I think fits this moment right now the best, the most perfect one for this moment, is in the short run, markets are a voting machine. In the long run, they're a weighing machine. Now, if you've been around these cycles long enough, you know exactly what he's talking about, right? Because right now, the voting machine, it's in full panic mode. Bitcoin, again, it's down 35%. It's a big move. But really, when you look at the bigger picture, it's not unusual for Bitcoin. In fact, it's the third drop of this size in just this current cycle. And we've seen dozens of these in previous cycles. But what is unusual is the sentiment this time. That, like, this drop right now, this must mean something is fundamentally wrong. So let's walk through this very carefully and take a look. Like, let's lay out the framework. Let's lay out the evidence so we can understand what's going on. Because once you line up all the facts, it becomes really